Turn-based? The fools.
It's real time now! Shut up and die!
Yeah, that was pretty much an average Monday at Blizzard. But let's rewind. Look at this masterpiece of real-time panic. What if I told you that the undisputed king of action RPGs was originally supposed to be a slow, turn-based claymation game running on MS-DOS? Yeah, imagine Wallace and Gromit slowly descending into the depths of hell. In 1996, the developers at Condor, led by David Brevik, pitched exactly that. A tactical, grid-based dungeon crawler where you had time to drink a coffee before deciding your next move. But Blizzard, having just tasted massive success with the fast-paced strategy of Warcraft, absolutely hated the idea. They demanded real-time combat. Brevik fought them tooth and nail. He loved the pure tactical aspect of old-school roguelikes, but the pressure mounted, and on one fateful Friday afternoon, he finally caved. Just to test their theory, just to prove to them it wouldn't work. He sat alone at his desk. He opened the source code and changed a few lines. He removed the turn-based delay timer. He compiled the build, and his hands were sweating as the loading screen appeared. He clicked his mouse. His warrior didn't wait. He walked forward and smashed a skeleton instantly. Bones flew across the screen. There were no turns. There was no waiting. Just pure, visceral, immediate impact. Brevik gasped out loud in that empty office. In a single afternoon, the multi-billion-dollar action RPG genre was born. But creating a revolutionary combat system was just the beginning. When the game finally shipped, gamers completely ignored the Gothic architecture and the terrifying lore. Instead, they focused on something far more sinister: the cows. At the very edge of Tristram stood these completely useless cows. If you clicked them, they just mooed. That's it. But you have to understand, the 1997 internet was a lawless, unmoderated wasteland. A blurry, badly photoshopped image appeared on a random GeoCities forum. It sparked a massive global rumor. The legend said, if you click the cow exactly 50 times in a specific rhythm, a secret portal will open to a hidden, demonic, bovine dimension. Millions of gamers spent countless hours frantically clicking livestock. It became gaming's very first viral hoax. It got so incredibly out of hand that Blizzard had to actively add a cheat code to their next game, StarCraft. The cheat was literally named "There is no cow level," just to shut the community up. But while clicking cows was harmless paranoia, Blizzard made one absolutely fatal mistake when they launched Battle.net. They trusted the player. You see, multiplayer characters weren't saved on secure, encrypted Blizzard servers. They were saved locally, right there on your dusty physical hard drive. And it took the community about 5 minutes to realize they could weaponize this. The result was the infamous dupe glitch. You didn't need a hacking program. You didn't need to know how to code. All you had to do was drop your rarest, most legendary sword on the ground. You take a few steps back. You click the sword to pick it up, and at the exact microsecond your character bends down to touch it, you click a cheap 1 gold healing potion in your inventory. Boom. The game's logic completely broke. You now had 2 identical legendary swords. The economy collapsed overnight into a digital black market. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was walking around in duped godly plate of the whale armor. But the duping was just the tip of the iceberg. Hackers figured out how to bypass the town's safety protocols. You would log into a public server, take one single step toward Deckard Cain to identify an item, and immediately get nuked from orbit by a rogue level 50 sorcerer casting Apocalypse in the town square. They would kill you, steal your ear as a trophy, and leave the game. It was pure, unadulterated chaos. A digital Wild West. Which brings us to Hellfire, the only official expansion to Diablo. But here is the secret. Blizzard actually despised it. They were too busy making StarCraft, so they outsourced Hellfire to a third-party company called Synergistic Software. When Blizzard saw the final product, complete with weird alien bugs and a bizarre crypt, they were disgusted. They ordered the developers to strictly strip out the multiplayer mode and to completely remove two unfinished classes, the Bard and the Barbarian. But programmers, at their core, are rebels. A rogue developer at Synergistic decided to disobey the corporate overlords. They hid the forbidden content deep inside the final retail code. You didn't need to download a sketchy crack. You just had to go into your game directory, create a simple blank text file, and name it command.txt. Inside that file, you typed 3 magical words: CowQuest, Macbeth, Bard Test. You saved the file, you booted up the game, and suddenly, boom, multiplayer was online. The dual-wielding Bard was fully unlocked. It was the ultimate silent middle finger to corporate interference, hidden in plain sight on thousands of CDROMs around the world. A claymation disaster, a cow hoax, a completely broken economy, and a rebellious text file. Diablo wasn't just a game, it was a digital frontier. Without these beautiful, chaotic accidents, the action RPG genre as we know it today simply wouldn't exist. If you remember the static ozone of a CRT monitor, you belong here in the archives. Hit subscribe. Drop a comment if you ever used the dupe glitch. Don't lie, I know you did. And I'll see you in the next run. Stay retro.